Good evening. A police watchdog was brought in today to investigate claims that a young woman tried to make a 999 call moments before she and her family were stabbed to death. The Ding family died in a frenzied attack at their home in Northampton. It was the day of the royal wedding just 3 weeks ago. The prime suspect has disappeared, but a car he was thought to be driving was recently found in London. Today we've been told the older of the two Ding daughters may have tried to contact the police by calling 999. Joel Mapp has the story.
Did 18-year-old Xing Ding call for help moments before her and her family were murdered? Did she hang up, or did the emergency call operator? And why did it take detectives 5 days to discover that call had been made? Just some of the questions an independent investigation will be asking. The detective leading the case told me he can't talk about the 999 call because of the independent investigation, but he couldn't hide his frustration.
I think this whole inquiry has been beset by delays in getting information to us, in finding things out. Our inquiry didn't start until the 1st of May. Clearly, any delay that's built into such an inquiry is of huge frustration because it puts us behind and on the back foot.
And time is crucial as police continue to hunt their prime suspect, Ang Zhangdu. Today they issued these images of him at Northampton bus station just 2.5 hours before the murders, on his way to the Ding family home. As he tries to find the right bus, he appears calm, rubbing his head and touching his face. Also today, police finally completed their forensic examination of the Ding's home. A cuddly toy, one of the last items to be taken. But the focus of the investigation remains on London's Chinese communities, where police believe Britain's most wanted man is hiding.
Joel Mapp reporting there for you. Several hundred people have converged on the centre of Corby this evening to protest against the shutdown of half the streetlights across Northamptonshire. The town is the first in the county to see the lights go out. The county council says it'll save £2 million by switching off half of its 66,000 streetlights. More than 1,000 locals have already started a Facebook campaign against the cuts.
This is only a small section of Corby that's actually came out tonight. People feel passionate about this all over the town. Unfortunately, they have to work. People are doing shifts. They're going to be coming out of work tonight, and it's going to be dark. You know, it's on everyone's mind. It's basically the talk of the town this week. So yeah, I do think people, you know, they're all in agreement with me.
A man has died in a house fire in Milton Keynes. The 38-year-old's body was found on the ground floor of the house in Shearmans in the Fuller's Slade area earlier this morning. Police are treating the blaze as suspicious. The dry weather is having a devastating effect on the region's livestock. One farmer in Cambridgeshire says the current climate is as bad as the drought of 1976. Part of the county saw just 8 millimetres of rain in April. Linda Sewell from Huntingdon says many farmers are having to use next year's hay and silage stocks to feed their cattle, putting them at as much financial risk as crop growers. Head teachers, governors and MPs in Cambridgeshire are joining forces to lobby the Education Secretary for more money. Schools across the county currently receive less funding per pupil than the national average, a shortfall of more than £30 million a year.
Head teachers say these students are being shortchanged. Schools across Cambridgeshire receive £400 less per pupil than the national average. Now a campaign's begun to ensure funding is more fairly allocated.
Look, the key problem was with the pupils who are not doing so well. If you look, for example, at pupils who get free school meals, they perform badly across the whole country. They perform particularly badly in Cambridgeshire. There's just no spare cash available in schools. They don't have the resource to say, here are some pupils who just need a little bit of help to get going.
We have comparisons with similar education areas, with similar statistical levels of deprivation and prosperity, and yet we are less well funded than most of those, and equally less well achieving than most of those. So there is a clear link, and that's what I and my colleagues will be putting to government.
If funding for Cambridgeshire matched the national average, schools would be paid an extra £34 million. Chesterton Community College would earn an extra £400,000, money that could be spent on extra teachers and reducing class sizes.
It makes me very angry because Cambridgeshire students, my students, deserve a much better deal. We believe we provide a good standard of education. we could be providing an even better standard of education with the additional funding that Cambridgeshire students deserve.
The government is now consulting on the issue. Faye Southwell, BBC Look East, Cambridgeshire.
Tonight, Stevenage have been battling it out in their League Two playoff semi-final against Accrington Stanley. Final score 1-0 to Stevenage, meaning they'll go to Old Trafford to meet Torquay, who also progressed tonight. Tens of thousands of Luton Town fans will make the trip to Manchester this weekend for the Blue Square Premier playoff final. The Hatters take on AFC Wimbledon tomorrow after beating Wrexham last week in the semi-finals. At stake for Luton, a return to the Football League 2 seasons after dropping out. And staying with sport, massive weekend for Northampton Saints, who could become European champions tomorrow and lift the much-coveted Heineken Cup in Cardiff. Saints play Leinster at the Millennium Stadium. Jonathan Park's the lucky boy who spent the whole day with the team as they prepare for the big match.
It's a city dominated by sporting passion, a famous drink and an iconic stadium. This place is pretty quiet here today, but tomorrow I can guarantee you it's going to be a sea of green, black and gold and blue, the colours that Leinster play in. There are a few Saints fans milling around the Millennium Stadium, and for others it's just a short hop from home.
Well, actually I live in Cardiff, so it's perfect for me in terms of actually, the final being here in Cardiff. Looked at the start of the season and thought, wow, could we do it this year? And of course we've made it all the way here, so fantastic.
I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I think it's going to be very competitive. I think Northampton are in great form, so are Leinster. Both of them win a lot of games recently. I think it's just going to be a big ding-dong game.
A short time ago, the gladiators appeared, some bearing scars of recent conflict, and all will go down in folklore if they beat Leinster to join the class of 2000 in the history books. Jonathan Park, BBC Look East, Cardiff.
Fingers crossed for them. Let me leave you with the weather. Partly cloudy tonight, but remaining fair and dry with clear intervals. Tomorrow, a fine, dry day. It's going to be warm, lengthy sunny periods. Top temperatures 21 degrees, which is good. And we'll have a look at the outlook for you as well. Steady temperatures right the way throughout the week. Newsnight underway on BBC Two, but from everybody here at Look East, good night.